Here up to previous day's close, we throw this wick, we lose VWAP, the market starts to roll over again, and I actually added into this right here. We got this move down. It kind of just messed with me a little bit here, right? It just kind of hung out. We chopped around a bit, and then eventually the market started to break down some more and took PayPal with it. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. It's the weekend. Yay. I put a mattress in this room, so hopefully it absorbs some of the sound and less of an echo chamber today. So I took one trade today on PayPal. Well, technically two, because I got stopped out on the first one. But I will go through that real quick. What I saw this morning on the SPY was we kind of had this range that's set up in the pre-market. And the top of this range at like 432.80-ish is actually R3. So I was thinking that, maybe in the pre-market we were rejecting R3, and what I would want to see is a reclaim of this for a long position on something, or for it to continue to reject this for a short position. And so you'll see that it was really struggling. It kept throwing these wicks at the open. It was really struggling to get up there and reclaim the top of that range. So I was more interested in a short this morning. And what I ended up playing was PayPal. So PayPal, it was a little bit tricky, but here's what I was looking at. So we've got this range from, back in 2019, and I played it a few weeks ago at the top of it, and now we're at the bottom of it. So I'm interested in the bottom of this range. The bottom of this range I have marked around let's see. Let me get my 2-minute chart out. So 182, and 100 is a decade level, so people are going to definitely be watching that number either way. I'm interested in this number. I'm interested in this area altogether. So I really wanted to take a short off of this level to the downside, but it's popped through it, and I was thinking, I also think R3. Let me just look really quick on my other screen for this stock in particular. Yeah, R3 on this is 101.48. So we've got R3 sitting right around up here. So as we popped up here in the morning, we rejected R3, and I was thinking, okay, we're close enough to the level, we've rejected R3, I'm gonna enter into this. I didn't see any large asks really to the top side. I saw a little bit in the morning, but they went away, and then there was just nothing else. And then it was all stacked to the downside. So I was like, we're at a level, we're stacked to the downside. I think this is just a little bit of a pop to R3, and then I'll catch it for an entry to the short side. So I entered, I did a small position and I added into it, and then unfortunately I got squeezed out at a full loss on this. But when we squeezed up here, what happened was over here on this higher one, I've obviously switched screens since then, so you can't see it anymore. But when we hit 102 up here, there were some large orders that went through on the larger time and sales window here. And when they went through, they pushed the stock down instead of pushing the stock up. So it really struggled at 102. And I, because of where the market was sitting, and because of how we were struggling at this 102 level, and we're near, this here, and on the push up, we have this volume, and then just bend around my camera here, we have this decreasing volume. So there's not a lot more volume to the top side as we're pushing, or even just like a steady build. It doesn't necessarily need to be this high, but there's not even volume up here. It's like all really, really low. So I really felt like this was going to be an area where I could short against. And also, if I zoom out here, you can kind of see you've got this little range here. We've got this one. To be honest with you, this is more of like a B- trade for me. It ended up working out, but it's funny, the more that you trade, the more critical you start to get of your trades, I think, because you have over time developed a strategy where a lot of your trades, you see what your A+ trades look like, and this to me is definitely a B. Like, I wish it wouldn't have squeezed up this much, but I ended up getting the trade off of it. Excuse me. So I was definitely watching the tape and the L2 for this trade above my level. And so I got back in when it was struggling up here, and then I wrote it down to my level. So, there's been a lot of times in the past where a stock has broken down above my level, and I get to the level and I try to wait for it to break my level for an even bigger move, and then it ends up just bouncing here. So one of my new rules is I always take it at the level no matter what. And so I took a partial there, and then I took a partial at sort of the bottom of this like pre-market area, which was also just above 100. And I saw a large order sitting on the L2 on the bid side at 100, and it seemed like people were trying to get in front of it, which they obviously were because we got a push back up here, but on pretty low volume as we're pushing, right? And so we get up here up to previous day's close, we throw this wick, we lose VWAP, the market starts to roll over again, and I actually added into this right here. We got this move down. It kind of just messed with me a little bit here, right? It just kind of hung out. We chopped around a bit, and then eventually the market started to break down some more and took PayPal with it. We got a move to just above 99.50, which is a pre-market low. And then I took another one just above 99 to be safe. And then I was waiting for a full ATR move down near like 95, and there were some big orders sitting out there at 95. So that's a $7 move, right? So from 102-ish down to 95, that would have been a $7 move. But the RVOL on this isn't 100, so maybe a $5 move is probably more likely, which it pretty much almost has done today. So yeah, I ended up, the market squeezed up, and I ended up stopping myself out. I actually wouldn't have been stopped out of this. My break even was 101.70 after that ad, but I was like, nah, we're like so close to it, and I'm just gonna take some profit, and I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, so that was my trade on PayPal, and hopefully you guys had a good day. Again, a little tricky for me at the open. I got stopped out on that little squeeze, that little push up on PayPal, but overall it ended up being a good day, and hopefully you guys had a good one, and you have a great weekend, and I will catch you next week. Peace.